Jackson, you all right? Good. I'm doing good. That's the right hat. Me, 80 years ago. Hey, you know I'm still, I'm a golden line. You know how to make me laugh, so I still one of our chairs for the election vote. Hey, Doc. Dr. Bird. Come back and chance his name to get a photo. Okay. Don't look at the camera now. Wait a minute. Congratulations. Got it. If you're ever getting down here. I'm here. Hopefully, you'll get the free meal. I think that was the deal when we originally did that.
Good evening. I want to welcome everybody to the agenda for the Quorum Court Committee meeting. Tonight is Tuesday, November the 1st, 2022, here at the Jefferson County Courthouse. We'll begin with roll call. Justice Jimmy Fisher.
Here.
Justice Ted Harden.
Here.
Justice Reginald Adams.
Here.
Justice Roy Agee.
Here.
Justice Conley Byrd.
Present.
Justice Alfred Carroll.
Here.
Justice Melanie Dumas. Here. Justice Brenda Bishop Gaddy.
Here.
Justice Glenda Daniels.
Here.
Justice Danny Holcomb. Gotcha. Justice Danny Holcomb.
Here.
Justice Cedric Jackson.
Here.
Justice Patricia Royal. Absent. Reginald Johnson.
Here.
All right. Now we'll have the report of the public safety of the committees. We will start with public safety, and that is Justice Conley Byrd.
Thank you, Judge. Public safety is all accounted for, but we're going to pull these two ordinances until Monday night, and we'll come in 15 minutes early to discuss them. And that's to resolve where the money's coming from and going to. That's all I got. Thank you, Judge.
Judge, we have, two items off the plate there.
Justice Johnson is not present, so would you like to replace her with another? On that committee is Roy Agee, Reginald Adams, Patricia Roy Johnson, Ted Harden, Danny Holcomb, Jimmy Fisher, and Glenda Daniels. You need to replace Patricia Roy Johnson.
Yeah, Mr. Jackson.
Okay. Okay.
We have two items on the agenda tonight. First, the two items of appropriation.
Turn your mic on.
First item is appropriation ordinance to provide a supplemental appropriation to fund 1,000 County General 4th Division.
Move we pass it on to the Finance Committee with a due pass.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. We'll move to full court with a due pass.
Finance Committee. Finance Committee.
Finance Committee with due pass. Second item, appropriation ordinance to provide a transfer within fund 1,000 county general fourth division.
Move we pass that on to the finance committee with a due pass.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Move it to the finance committee with the due pass. That's the end of our judicial.
Thank you, Justice AG. Next, we'll have Budget and Finance, and that's Justice Jimmy Fisher.
Thank you, Judge. Budget and Finance will now come to order. We all have all present except for the two, but they're present via video. Judge, there were 8 items on the agenda, of which 2 have been pulled for further review and leaves us with 6. We have the first 2 were from the judicial, Justice Roy A.G., and they were 2 items, and we ask now that we would entertain a motion that we pass those on to the full courts.
Move we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Being that there's not any, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item number 4, an appropriation ordinance to provide a transfer with the funds 1,000 County General 4th Division.
Move we pass it on to the full court with a due pass.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Being so that motion carries, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Appropriation ordinance number 5, appropriating ordinance to provide appropriation fund 2,000 roads.
Move we pass it on to the full court with a recommendation of a due pass.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
Mr. Chair,
Chair recognizes Justice Carroll.
in reading the attachment, I saw a statement in there in reference to what type of auction, another auction taking place or something taking place. The fund.
An auction? I didn't read
I didn't
that.
quite understand that the submitted letter requesting the fund.
Pull it up. Put that up here.
This is the auction we had in April.
I'm sorry.
The auction that was in April.
Okay, thank you.
In April. Thank you. There any other questions? Not being any, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item number 6, vote on assessor tax rates for 2022 to be collected in 2023.
Motion approved.
We have a motion. There's a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Being that there's not any, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item number 7, an appropriation ordinance to transfer funds from 3646 American Recovery Plan to 4802 Special Project Construction Fund UAPB.
Motion approved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
Justice, Chair, if you would allow me, there was some, we brought in a replacement MOU and replacement ordinance. The ones that's in your packet, I would like for you to pull those.
Okay.
They've been revised, same language. It was just a little more teeth put in, speaking about the community involvement that it gives. So it's a little bit more language, but it wasn't taken from the context of what we're doing with the ARP money. So if you would, there was those documents that you had already in your packets, pull those out.
Okay, Judge, could we urge the courts that if we could allow this committee to just take a brief moment to read through
Read,
this
yes.
and let us, and then we would proceed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Chair. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
got that mask on?
I didn't recognize that mask, man.
I don't know today, but do we have an amount for this project?
The 3
3
million.
million,
That's what we're giving, but
300 million.
for the,
3 million.
I mean, 3 million, 3 million.
Yes.
We, yes, could I remind the chair, if I may?
Yes.
We have representatives from the UAPB here that if there are any questions can specify or give details of it.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
We have Chancellor Alexander and the athletic director, Chris Robinson, here.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
If we could, if the chair could recognize that we were going to give everybody an opportunity to just read through this real quick, and then we would entertain those questions. We allow those people that are present to speak to the nature of these questions. One more minute. Thank you, Judge. Now, where Chair was recognizing, was that Justice Carroll, I believe we recognized Justice Carroll earlier.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Are there company drawings, any architectural drafts, or any of this been submitted to the court that we don't see here in our packet?
We're going to allow the committee representative from UAPB to answer that one. Is there any other question that when he arrives, he can take care of all of that at hand? This time.
Mr. Chairman, I do
Yes.
have one other question.
Yes, sir. Chair recognizes Justice.
It's very simple. Is this going to be a one-time distribution, or is it going to be like a line of credit, or are we going to fund the 3 million up front, Judge?
It's going to be a $3 million check presented to.
Up front?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
And on the memorandum of understanding, is that something that this committee should see signed before we move forward with sending this out of committee? And finally, in the initial memorandum of understanding, and I'm sorry, I'm a slow reader, I haven't finished reading this, it indicated something that if UAPB had not fulfilled their financial obligation of securing the additional funding for this facility within 2 years, they would have to give the 3 million back.
Okay. Okay, Justice Carroll, if you would allow the chair to recognize the personnel, Justice Gaddy.
This was the same thing that we did for CR. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So, Chair would recognize the committee chairperson that's here. Maybe they would be able to bring everything to light, that the question that being asked.
Good evening, I'm Lawrence Alexander, Chancellor at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, the 1890 land-grant university located right here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I'll let our AD introduce himself.
Good evening as well. Chris Robinson, Director of Athletics at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
And I believe there was a question.
There was a specific questions?
Justice Carroll.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
They're doing well.
Good. Nice to see you, man. My question was, with this letter of request, were there other documents submitted that we don't have this morning in terms of architectural sketch, diagrams, land uses, or anything other that we could have before us? Or is this all that was submitted?
That is all that was submitted.
So do you all have those things already?
We do have sketches. Yes, sir, we do.
Mr. Chairman, I certainly would like to see the sketches of the scope of the project in terms of its, because I'm not sure where it's going to be in the facility. Is it in the old concrete field area or the new?
Actually, the area we're looking at is directly across from our Delta complex to help join between the Hyper complex and the Golden Line station, Simmons Bank Field. And we're going to put it right there in that area, right across from the Delta housing complex.
I don't think they would be answering the question about the memorandum of understanding and the clause in terms of if funding is not secured, they would have to return the $3 million. I don't think that would be a question that they would answer, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Are there any other questions? To my understanding, when CR came before us, I think we had the same format. And there, I don't recall any memorandums or groundwork or paperwork. I do recall that we was invited out to have a tour of the grounds and to show us a visual sight of everything that was supposed to happen. And I do believe at that time also, Justice Carroll, if my mind served me correctly, you were really concerned about that UAPB was not entered into that monies at that particular time, and I think it was stated that they had not approached this body as far as concerning being to bring a proposal to the body for reasons of receiving any money. So if I'm correct, Judge, I'd like for you to...
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I think I did due diligence where CR was concerned in terms of their construction. And I believe I expressed some concern with the idea of CR being put into a position where it's competing with a four-year institution as opposed to working with a four-year institution.
You did.
It was my understanding from a conversation with the judge that not the UAPB had not submitted anything requesting money, but that the same opportunity had been presented to UAPB or available to UAPB, and a proposal was forthcoming. And I have followed up on that. And true enough, that was accurate, and today I see it come to fruition. But the fact that I'm asking questions and I'm reading documents that said money have to be given back with the kinds of situations we've had, even with that check going to CR and then the Department of Higher Education not approving their project. I think I'm doing what I ought to be doing in terms of asking questions of the university, and I've talked with Chancellor Alexander Bitt in his office, etc., along with our athletic director. And so I don't think they mind me asking questions. And I think they would welcome the opportunity to be crystal clear on what the university plans to do and where. So I'm not treating them anywhere different than I treat CR, but that's my alma mater.
Thank you. Chair recognized Justice Johnson.
Okay, in the new memorandum of understanding that I see on the table, it doesn't mention that it has to be paid back. So would somebody double check because it's not on there?
What was the question?
Justice Johnson stated that in the new memorandum that there's no statement of being reimbursed or paid back.
If I may,
The chair recognizes Judge.
In the memorandum does not have to state that. In the guidelines of the final rules of the ARP monies, that if those monies are not expended by a certain date, then those monies will be recovered. So that is already in the final rules, which our attorneys felt that they did not have to include that in as long as we were within the guidelines of the ARP funding and monies. So it would really be redundant to put it in the MOU and then already stated in the guidelines that it has to be expended by a certain date. And so again, the attorneys felt like that they didn't need to put that in the MOU. So the Mullenix firm, which was Tucker, Braskin, and along with the University of UAPB attorneys, both agreed that's why this memorandum is written the way it is, and it doesn't have that giving back. That's why we tweaked it.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Justice Gaddy.
Chancellor Alexander, how are you today? All right. I just want to ask, do either one of you have a problem? I'm speaking just for Brenda, coming over to see exactly where this is going to be. Can we make up a date? We can do it after this. Is that possible?
It is possible, and we'd be delighted to have you on campus to be decided.
Thank you. May I say this, bearing away, I worked over in the hyper building with the at-risk children, and I think that was a little bit before you got there, Chancellor.
So if we're throwing in working at UAPB, I installed all of the bleachers at the pool and the hyper building and the football field.
Okay. If I may, I've spoken with the athletic director extensively and have seen the drawings. I think you'll be very impressed. Would it be, if we can, a preliminary sketch of what you have going, where we can distribute it to the Quorum Court meeting Monday night?
I can send it tonight, if we can show it. I have it on my email with me now.
Okay. Yes, that'd be fine. Yes. Would that be okay with you, would suffice you, Justice Carroll?
Yes, sir, Judge. I just wanted to make sure that we were looking at what you submitted. That's all. And if I could, Mr. Chairman, if I could just say one other thing.
Go ahead.
Even though it's a moot point that part of the memorandum of understanding has been removed, the initial did not say if it was not used, it had to be returned. It stipulated if UAPB has not secured their part of the funding, it had to be returned. So that was my concern.
Okay.
Thank you.
Totally understand. Totally understandable. And if I want to apologize to you if it felt that I was insinuating any other difference of that you were going after one versus the other, I want to let it be clear that that was definitely not our intention. That's not our means of working and doing things. So we do want to make sure that we don't leave this court with that being not being addressed. Is there any other questions while they are working to get that? They're going to bring that before us. He's getting that in the email form. What? Yes.
I do want to, on Justice Carroll. He did not say, but we did get a presentation on the facilities. Exactly what they do.
Okay, well, that's what they're working on giving us now. Yeah. Okay.
He said that we did, we did the same thing. We did get a presentation.
Okay. Yeah.
Mr.
Judge,
Chairman.
while we are waiting for that to happen, can we move to the next item on the agenda? Item number 8.
Yes.
Item number 8, the appropriation ordinance to transfer funds from 3046 recovery plan to 4802 municipal special project construction fund site of Altamont, Humphrey, and Redfield water and sewer projects.
Move for the, we pass this on to the full court with a due pass.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? One question. Chair recognizes Justice Adams.
Not to be putting on blast or nothing, but what about Wap City?
They coming.
Yes. Initially, the conversation, remember the conversation I had with you that we initially did not reach or could not reach the mayor, but they have been put in touch with to apply for the grants, and so that is in motion. So it is coming forward.
So we will have some funds.
Yeah, they are applying for the funds directly through the ARPA funds that was agreed upon to the state September the 16th, so they have an opportunity to apply for those funds directly through the state. And further, so we'll go a step further. I have signed for Wright Pastoria and Cheryl also are applying for the grants also for their water and sewer system. Okay, Justice Chair.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make one comment.
Yes.
I've served on this court for many years, and it goes back, excuse me, back to when the Quorum Court appropriated $50,000 a year for 10 years to build a football stadium. And we've never regretted it, and it's been a real asset to the community and to the university, and I'm sure this will be the same in situation.
Thank you, Justice.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Chair recognizes Justice Carroll.
You know, much of that legislation in terms of the thrust of it and the push of it, to whom this room is named in honor of, very instrumental in us getting that legislation, and I enjoy presenting those $10,000 checks. A lot of folks thought that was my money.
Well, we're going to let you present this one.
Appreciate Dr. Brandon Johnson.
Hey, all right. With that being said, yeah, that's what I'm getting to. If there's no other question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, like sign? Motion carries. Are we ready for the?
Are you ready for 2 minutes? About 2 minutes.
2 minutes. This would be a good time to take that break.
You can't go.
You old, go ahead.
You can't go in 2 minutes.
I'm sorry, but you ain't got to go cause the shoe wet. Tell him you don't want to get me started.
When did you get out of geriatrics?
I get on the night. He forgot I got the night. In the chair.
Roy, when you got out of
Chairman
geriatrics?
Fisher,
Yes.
can someone turn the screen towards so that we can see it also?
Most certainly.
Yes.
It's working on it right now.
Thank you.
How is that?
That's fine.
Can you read it?
Nice drawing.
Man, that looks beautiful.
Go ahead, explain it to us.
I think I heard something ping. I heard a ping.
There it is.
If anybody can do it, 5 kids. There it is. There it is. Let there be light. I know if anybody could do it, 5 could. Would you like to? Mr. AD, would you like to tell us what we're looking at so that we can play-by-play announcer? You don't want me to do it.
No, actually, the purpose of the oval in the front, you can see the driving area here up front, is a area to where, again, easy access to be able to drive in and drive out to make the flow as seamless as possible. For if we had to do vaccinations and different things coming in, we have access to drive in, it's a circle drive, I'm gonna get to you right. I'm looking at the top where you see the kind of speckled driveway. You guys see that oval up top at the very front?
Yeah.
The driveway circle, you come right back out. We wanted to make sure that was a priority for easy access in and out. Not a lot of parking in that area, but you can drive in and out. And within the structure, you can see in the middle is a community room, a big meeting room for gathering. That's gonna be a versatile room. To the left is office spaces. Again, we have a community office space within this particular area as well. And to your right, to the far right, the blue, you see the locker rooms and different areas for training access as well. So this is a very multifunctional space. We're working with the architect to make sure we're able to do, be as flexible as possible to accommodate, of course, day-to-day interaction, and of course, in case of emergencies, we can flip it and do different things with that as well. And again, the outdoor space, you see that the oval, you can see where the glasses are. That's the big room, the multifunctional room there. And this is the, similar to what they're doing up in Fayetteville now, a similar structure. But of course, the outdoor track and soccer complex, we have a soccer field in there as well, but this is the building. And again, we want to make sure it's open, amenable, and again, flexible to be able to accommodate different needs that we may have.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for the AD? Justice Carroll.
And this is the first outdoor track facility at the University of Arkansas. Whether it's Branchstone, A&M, now UAPB, this is the first outdoor track.
This is the first one.
I want to come by your office, and I want you to tell me again how many track championships UAPB, A&M, Branchstone won without a track.
Okay.
I want none. Thank you. So we are back at appropriation number 7, an appropriation ordinance to transfer funds from 3046 American Recovery Plan to 4802 Special Project Construction Fund, UAPB.
Move for that we pass this on to the full court with a do pass recommendation.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any other questions or discussions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Judge, that is my report.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
if I may ask, that it might be asked of the judge, that when we come together in court, that the document for signature
You would like to co-sponsor?
be set up as for unanimous consent, so each of us can sign.
Yes, that's fine. Yes, we can do that.
We
Yes,
can all be co-sponsors.
yes.
Yeah, I guess I'll let them do that.
Meeting adjourned.
Y'all have to ask me that. Y'all have to ask me that. I might not want y'all on there.
Well,
Thanks, Ray.
I was
Hey,
thinking about that.
man, hey, I hope that. Keep the focus on that.
That I helped